All right, so the first question says earlier you learned from about a bank account that had an initial balance of $1,000, earned 1% monthly interest. Each month the interest was added to the account and no deposits or withdrawals are made. So Elena wrote this equation. Now where did she get 36 from?
3 years of 12 months.
3 years of monthly interest. Okay, 3 times 12. Now Tyler writes something that looks a little funny to us. Now let's just talk about Tyler's equation there. What did Tyler do differently?
Make it more complicated.
Made it more complicated, yes. But where did those numbers come from?
Well, I mean, it's still come up with the same answer.
Still kind of the same answer, absolutely. It does tell us in one, why do they represent the same? Well, Tyler figured out for 1 year, right, 12 months, and then he's going to take it times 3 for 3 years. So will they still give you the same answer? Yes. Elena took 12 times 3 and got 36. Tyler wrote it out. As Georgia said, a little more complicated, but it's the same thing. 12 times 3 is 36. That's how they are the same. Kieran comes in and says, the account balance is about, and where did those numbers come from? Obviously, I see the 1,000 in all of them, so that's the same. Where did the 1.1268 come from?
That's
To the
what-
third power.
That's what, 1.012 to the 12th power is.
Let's check that. Basically simplifying Tyler's expression, 1.01 to the 12th power. You can see it is 1.1268. So do I agree? Yes, it is the same thing. Kieran simplified Tyler's expression. Okay, continuing on with question 2. Noah, would you read it, please?
A credit card company lists a nominal APR annual percentage rate of 24%, but compounds interest monthly. So it calculates 2% per month. Suppose a cardholder made $1,000 worth of purchases using his credit card and made no payments or other purchases. Assume the credit card company does not charge any additional fees other than the interest. Write expressions for the balance on the card after 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, and a year.
All right, so I'm not sure if any of you have a credit card yet, probably a debit card if you have one, but credit card companies are going to have something called APR. Okay, that is annual percentage rate. That does not mean they're only going to charge you if you borrow money for a year. They take whatever the annual is, divide it by 12, because there's 12 months in a year, and then they make it monthly. Okay, they are going to charge you interest for borrowing their money. If you don't ever want to pay interest, make sure you pay it off every month, and you'll never have to pay extra to these credit card companies. So this card holder, again, I'm just going to underline things that are important here. $1,000. And it wants to know how much I would have to pay after a month, 2 months, 6 months, and a year. So it does say write the expressions. We're going to do that. So I'm going to write 1 month, 2 months, 6, and a year. Since they are all in months, I'm going to just write that as 12 months. And I know I'm starting with $1,000, so that will be what all my equations start with. All right, so how much am I gonna have to pay? Well, it's my purchase, which is 100% of it. I have to pay $1,000 plus 2%. Why is it 2%? Again, it's monthly. 24 divided by 12 months is 2. Told us that right here, 2% a month. So my first one will be 1.02, and it's 1 month. You wouldn't need to put a 1 there, but I'm going to. So 1,000 times 1.01 to the first, please. Somebody want to give me that answer? 1,020. Okay, how about if I leave it sit for 2 months? Only thing that changes is now it's 2 months, so I put a little 2 there. Remember, order of operations, I have to do exponents first, so 1.02 squared times 1,000. Should be more than 1020. 1,040.4. 6 months. Again, it should be more. What's that? 16? Okay. And the last one is 12.
Can we just do that 1.24 for last time? Just a question.
You'd have to figure out whatever 1.02 times, or to the 12th power is. Looking for the last one.
4,068.
What was the sense? Okay, so that means if you make your purchase and you don't do anything for a full year, your $1,000 is now going to cost you that much. So you're paying Visa or MasterCard, whoever, $268 fee for borrowing their money. Question number 2, write an expression. So it will work no matter what I have for M months. Can you come up with the expression based on the 4 we just wrote?
That's the same thing, but the exponent's there.
Same thing. Exponent is M. How much does the card holder owe after 1 year? Yeah, plus your $1,000. So you're going to have to pay again $1,268.24. What is the effective rate? So what am I actually paying? Now you're paying interest on interest, so it's actually going to be more than their 24% that they are falsely advertising to you. Remember, we're just going to look at the interest part of it, just like we did in the homework. 1.02 to the 12th. Why don't you, don't round it.
1.2.
Couple more? All right, so here's my original purchase. Here is what I'm looking at. What percent is that? Well, I'll move it over 2 spots. I'm actually paying 26% interest. So to me, credit cards are scamming us by incorrectly telling what we're actually paying. Because every time they add interest, now you got to pay more off of that. Actually paying 26% on this $1,000 purchase.
So anytime it says the effective, or something effective, that's what you do?
Yes. Write an expression for the balance on the card after T years. Okay, well, there's 2 ways you could do it. Now that we have the actual percent we are paying, using that number, or you could take 1,000 times 1.02 that we did before, and then take 12 times the number of years. Either one would be just fine. Georgia, I know you said this one was more complicated, but they mean the same thing. 1.02 to the 12th gives you this number. And it does say years, that's why the 12 is on there. Because it was 2% a month. So either one is fine. They will give you the same answer. You can write skip by the are you ready there. We're going to skip that one. Go right into question number 3. Mira. Question 3, please. Which one would you choose?
Suppose you have $500 to interest and you can choose between two options. Option 1, every 3 months, 3% interest is applied to the balance. Or option 2, every 4 months, 4% is applied to the balance. Which option would you choose? What are the mathematical model for each investment option and use them to support an investment decision?
All right. Go ahead.
Remember to state your assumptions about this situation.
All right, so a couple things here. Option 1, how many times is that going to happen per year? 4. So I'm going to make a little note of that. That's 4 times a year. 3 times 4 is 12. How about option 2? How many times is that going to happen a year? 3. I'm going to make a little note of that as well.
Where did it say we were here?
What's that? Well, what did you ask?
Well, no, never mind. She asked, when did it say we were using it? Where did it say we were using it?
Well, I always want to know what it does annually, and then I can adjust as needed. So, option 1, option 2. And let's check it for a whole year. See which one would be better. So option 1, how much am I investing? Nope. $500. 3% interest. So what goes in the parentheses? 1.03. I don't want to add it at the end. If you said 0.03, you'd have to add it to 500. And how many times is it happening? In a year, 4 times. Now you're talking investment, so the higher the number, the better here. Option 2, still investing $500, 4% interest, and that's going to happen 3 times per year.
$562.43.
All right, not much difference, but obviously this one's better. Make a little more money off of my investment. That's for a whole year. Let's check some other ones. Let's check if I only have it in the bank for 4 months. Option 1. Let's check it. $500. 1.03 still. How many times will 3 months happen if I only have it invested for 4 months? And there's only one time, I'll get interest there. 5 what? 15? Okay, option 2. Again, that will only happen one time as well. $5.20?
Yeah.
Wait, for the first option, that's only for 3 months. Don't you want it for 4 months?
Say that again?
The first option, that's for 3 months. Don't you want it for 4?
3 months will happen 4 times throughout a year. We checked a whole year. 3 times 4 is 12.
But it's a 3-month period
That
that
would
happens,
have 4
so
months.
4 months
When
did
you
happen
did it.
twice.
How many 4 months period are in a year?
No, not
No,
the
no,
year
we're
one,
talking about option
the
1.
4 months.
Option 1.
Then the 4
Second,
months.
4 months.
This one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're taking it, so 3 months.
How many 3 months period are in 4 months?
2.
Really?
Because, well,
1 point
because
something.
the month is. like
January,
every month.
February, March, April. How many 3 months periods are in 4 months? 1.
1 point
It's,
something.
you can't get a second one. There's not 6 months there.
Alright.
You'll get interest every 3 months. Let's check one more. Let's check for 6 months. Option 1. 500 times. Caleb, you got this one. How many 3-month periods are in 6 months?
2.
2.
Caleb, I saw where you're going with that.
Yeah.
I don't either.
What do you mean?
I understand why you're.
So I'm saying that after March, your 3-month period
It's
like
1 point something.
your
1
next
point.
period kicks in.
Yeah, but you only get interest after 3 more months,
Yeah.
which can't happen in 4 months.
I'm just saying that's what
I'm just saying too, Caleb. Still waiting for an answer here. 530.45. Caleb, I look forward to hearing your answer here.
So would this be,
Caleb. How many 4 months periods are in 6 months?
1.
1. So it's going to be the same answer as above. So it looks to me, if I have a longer investment, option 1 here looks to be okay, has up to a year anyway. If it's a shorter investment, looks like option 2 may be the best. And again, if you are going to a bank and they have a CD, let's say, you want to leave it in for 3 years or 5 years, run the numbers. See which one will make you more money before you just say yes. Okay? You want to make money when you have the opportunity to do so. Top of the next page, again, I want to have enough time for you to start on your assignment today. So we're going to skip that, are you ready as well, and get right into question 4. It says the function f of x equals 15 times 1.07. What is the cost of tuition? It is in thousands of dollars, it tells us. So again, it tells you right here. It's not $15. You're not going to get into college for $15. Hate to tell you, but that is $15,000 worth of tuition. What is our annual percentage? What percent? 7. Again, right from the equation. Assume that before 2017 tuition had been growing at the same rate. What was the tuition for the year 2000? Well, how many years before 2017 was 2000? 17 years before. So I'm going to type in negative 17 here. Remember, it should be less than 15,000. 4.74. I agree with that. Remember, that's in thousands of dollars, so you can take that times 1,000. So in the year 2000, tuition was quite a bit less. Makes sense as everything seems to be growing up or going up. What was the tuition in 2010? Well, how many years before 17? And again, it's before, so it's negative. Type that in. That's in thousands of dollars, so I'm going to take it times 1,000. $9,341 and roughly 25 cents. What will tuition be when you graduate from high school? Based on this. So what year will you graduate? 26? So how many years after 2017 is that? That is 9 years after. Again, we expect it to be more than 15,000, of course. Take it times 1,000. Roughly $27,576.89. By what factor will tuition grow from 2017 to 2027? Well, it is a 7% increase. That's a 10-year period, so that would tell you how fast it would grow. Choose another 10-year period and find the factor. Well, for any 10-year period, it would grow the same, because it's 10 years. And we multiply it by the same thing. Still a 10-year period. What can you say about how much the tuition changes over any 10-year period? Well, let's actually figure that out. Should change by almost a factor of 2. Just shy. Tuition will just about double. Now, can we see that? Well, here we check 9 years, your graduation date, so that is just shy of doubling. If you did actually 10, it would be just shy of $30,000. So I would say that would accurately predict or go along with our prediction as well. All right, some key terms I just want you to make note of on the summary on page 408. If you hear annually, semi-annually, quarterly, monthly, what that means, how many times a year it will happen. Okay, so keep those in mind as well, because that will affect your interest rate. How many times does it happen quarterly? Or how many 3-month periods are in those, like we did today. So your assignment then, starting on page 409, is going to be 1 through 8. 8 questions for you. Starting on page 409 to 411. Again, watch the explanations. Make sure you circle the word all for number 6, please. It means there's going to be more than one answer to that multiple choice.